Hey, yo, how's it going? Bobby Pin here with Bobby Thunder. We're going to be talking about our top 7 death metal albums. Not albums. What the fuck am I saying? Bands. This is just opinion, so if your list doesn't agree, sorry, buddy. Yeah, this is just opinion. So, let's get this party started. Yeah. Tell me who your number 7 is.
My number 7 is Job for a Cowboy, and I'm talking loud because people comment on the video saying that we talk quietly, so I'm gonna talk loud, or speak loudly. Job for a Cowboy is number 7 on my list. One, why are they like the very bottom of my list? Is because they're a good band. It's just like, you know, to me at least, sometimes it's just hard, you know, to really, they're a hard band to get into at first. Like, especially with Doom, their like first EP is like, I didn't care for it. I mean, a lot of people say it's a very great death core album, and then I feel like they went into a death metal direction, but like even the band doesn't play songs. They don't really like playing songs from that live. And when I first heard it, I'm just like, oh, this really isn't for me. And then I heard Genesis, and I'm like, this really, you know, I'm trying to get into it. And I didn't really get into this band until Demonocracy came out, and I'm like, wow, this is a really good album. And the one thing this band kind of lacks sometimes, at least in my opinion, it's not really a death metal thing sometimes to have this, but at least with some bands, but they really lack the vocal hooks sometimes. Maybe it's Johnny Davies' like lyrics where he uses huge words that no one knows, or like, you know, I don't know what it is, but somehow I just kind of have a feeling they lack that sometimes, at least with me. But why are they on my list? Because the new drummer that they got is sick. Their guitarists are sick. Johnny Davey is a great vocalist. That's the ticket for Job for a Cowboy. I mean, they have some sick ass riffs, and that's their golden goose. They got it cooked up for a Christmas dinner.
Wait, I'm gonna put a microphone on. Can you hear me? Am I louder? Number 7, I had Dying Fetus. Now, my number 7 spot was a toss-up between Suffocation and Dying Fetus. And you might be, wow, Tyler, you're a faggot. You don't know death metal. You don't understand death metal. You shouldn't be talking right now because Suffocation isn't on your list, man. I'm not watching this video. I'm going to tell you you're fucking stupid. But no, I like Dying Fetus. Both Suffocation and Dying Fetus to me are like the original brutal death metal bands. Like, and Dying Fetus is just so crushing. I honestly didn't really get too much into this band until Reign Supreme came out. I owned Descendant to Depravity for a while, and I thought it was good. There was a lot of good shit on it, but then Reign Supreme came out, and that album just punches you in the face the entire way through. Like, Subjected to a Beating. When that riff comes in, you just want to actually beat something. I mean, it's just, this band is so fucking heavy, and it's just, it blows me away every time I listen to them that only 3 people play music this insane with this many catchy and just raw riffs, insanely technical parts at times, absolutely monstrous drumming, and just amazing brutal fucking vocals. I mean, this band has it all for a death metal band. I love Dying Fetus. Number 6, I had Nile. Now, I apologize. Number 6, I had Nile. Now, Nile is heavy as shit. I'm not the biggest fan of the new album, but god damn it, their old stuff is so amazing. I don't know if I've heard a guitar tone that is just so monstrous and so thick, and when you listen to it, it is so loud, and it just, it destroys everything in its path. This band is just heavy as hell, and I think one part in a song that can really sum up how Nile is the song Annihilation of the Wicked. When they have that kind of strange lead, and then that rhythm comes in underneath, oh my god, that rips you apart. That just, like, tears your face off. This band is insane. I think the whole kind of Egyptian theme thing that they got going on is rather unique, and they pull it off rather well, getting this, like, technical, very brutal death metal and combining it with kind of some Egyptian bullshit. It's pretty cool. Nile's a good band.
Yo, number 6. I have a lot of people put this band like their number 1 and number 2, even number 3, but I had Cannibal Corpse as my number 6. I think this band is very talented. They're well known, a huge death metal band. It's just like, I mean, this list is all about personal taste, I guess, and they're on my list because they're good and I like them. But they're number 6 just because I haven't listened to everything from them. I mean, I listened to a lot from them, you know, quite a decent amount, but you know, not everything from them. They're not my most like well-known band, I guess. Like, I don't know every little fact about them. I mean, but you know, they're still up there because I enjoy what I have heard. And why they're on my list? Just because they're death metal. They're heavy. They're sick. They're you know, windmilly, and they're headbangy, and you know, everyone knows Cannibal Corpse. I don't need to tell you why they're on my list. Number 5 is Decapitation. Number 1 reason I have this band on my list is Travis Ryan. Is because, like, he is, you know, probably, I'm trying to think off the top of my head. I have to say he's, like, definitely one of my favorite, probably not my number 1 favorite, but one of my favorite death metal vocalists. I like his lyrics. I like just, you know, it's sometimes hard to put into words. Just the way they do certain parts of songs, I guess, you know, like I sound stupid trying to describe it, but you know, like I don't know, what am I trying to think of here?
How insane they are.
Oh yeah, like their creative process, the fact that they come up with a certain part of a certain song, or the fact that they come up with the song, it's just, it's really something to me. Like, they can put a song together so well, in my opinion. That's definitely why I have them on my list. That really says it about them. They put, like, a song together so well, unlike a lot of bands.
Number 5, I'm gonna cut Keith's face off. I have Decapitated. That was stupid, wasn't it? Decapitated, man. What a death metal band. Every album, 5 of their albums are just classic. I'm glad this band came back from their drummer's death, and Carnival is Forever is a fantastic album. You know, I might say this wrong, but Nihility, I believe. Holy shit. When Spheres of Madness kicks in, that double bass is going. I mean, that's just awesome. This band is, some of the riffs and moments, like, it's absolutely insane. It's like, when you think that this death metal band over here just got insane, Decapitated will take it up another notch and just turn it up, and it's just fucking insane. This band has so many classic songs, so many classic albums, like I already mentioned. It's just, they're kind of different. They don't have the most brutal vocalist, but they have a vocalist that kind of, I don't know how to describe him. He's kind of different, but he fits Decapitated. He really gives that Decapitated identity that is kind of different. I love Decapitated. They're such a solid band from lap number 1 to lap 300. Number 4. I had Behemoth.
I forgot Decapitated on my list. Fuck! But, whatever, continue.
Yeah, I had Behemoth as number 4. Nurgle, man, enough said. I mean, Behemoth is insane. Absolutely insane. I mean, when And there's so many moments throughout all their albums where you just want to headbang, and you just want to punch a wall. This band, I mean, I know it's their most popular song, or one of them, but when a Fire in the Void, when that rhythm kicks in, you just want to, yeah, it's just so awesome. I mean, and Nurgle's vocals are just so amazing. And in listening to his lyrics, when you follow along with his lyrics, they're just so beautiful. And it's kind of weird because they're so, like, satanic, kind of. But they're so dark, and they're so dark, they're beautiful to me. I love everything about Behemoth, and I'm glad, Nurgle is okay and they're back in full swing. This band's insane, and they have one of the best drummers in death metal to me. Inferno, I believe they call him. I don't know his actual name, but Behemoth is just amazing. They are a behemoth. They are huge, man. They step on everybody. I need a break from talking, so you can go.
My number 3 is the band Suffocation. No,
what's your number
my number
4?
My number 4 is the band Suffocation.
Man, you spoiled it! Oh, okay.
You're goofy.
Never mind. No, okay.
You're fucking goofy.
I'm gonna shut up.
My number 4 band is Suffocation. Tyler said a lot of what I think about them, so I'm not gonna say too much. But I don't know. They're what about them? I mean, I'm trying to think of, because people watch this video probably already know Suffocation clearly from our last video. They know Suffocation better than us. But why do I enjoy them so much? Because they're good death metal. There's a lot of death metal bands that just get thrown into the mix and lost in translation. I feel like that's a movie or something. I'm not even sure if I said that right. But I feel like I feel like a lot of death metal bands just get lost out there. Like, this is one of the first death metal bands, and like, they really just kind of have their own thing, Like sure, you can start a genre and say that everyone copied off you and like whatever, but this band is like, they really started it, so they definitely have like their own place in death metal, like you hear a song, you can kind of think like, yeah, that's definitely Suffocation. I mean, sometimes death metal bands, you hear a song like, oh, who is that? That sounds like another death metal band, or who is that? Is that one of those 8,000,000,021,6 bands from Europe that no one really knows? But definitely Suffocation is one of the bigger names, and they're big because they're brutal, they're sick, they can play fast, they can play slow, they can do it all. They have an amazing drummer. Frank Mullen is a great vocalist, and they can do it. They can do it great, and they can do it. They do it all the time. They do it a lot. My number 3 band is Pathology, because brutal. They're brutal. What else? They have sick riffs. I say that a lot. Sick riffs and this and that, but their riffs are very like, they have a lot of groove sometimes. They got some groove, like headbanging riffs that are, really like that has a nice like rhythm to it, a nice bounce, a nice like you wanna have some sexual to it. But drumming is good once again, as most death metal drummers are. Vocally, they got their old vocals back, but I like John Huber so much. It's because like the guy is amazing. Like like some people like don't even know what he's saying, but like he's still like what the hell is he doing? Like it just sounds like so dirty, and he sounds like someone gurgling blood, and like fucking a goat in the face, and all kinds of disgusting BS from like the underworld, where he's like, I don't know, he's like killing people or something, and you know, then like a giant dragon swoops in and like he cuts its face off, and like he has like an iron fist. That's what his vocals sound like, you know. That's the imagery I get.
Beautiful explanation.
That's the imagery I get. But he's such a good vocalist, and that's why I have him up there. Like, yeah, sure, they're death metal, whatever. They have good riffs, they have good drumming. Awaken to the Suffering is a perfect album. But damn, John Huber is just amazing. I like him.
You know, my number 3 is Obscura. Let me tell you what Obscura does. They take this guitar right here, and they're just like, yeah! And they just fucking shred all over your face. And they play these fucking awesome riffs and shit. That was gay, wasn't it?
Yeah,
That was so gay, but that's what Obscura does. That's why I love Obscura. Obscura is amazing. The song Septuagint, I believe how you say it. That song is beautiful. From the intro, with the kind of clean guitars, and just the riffs. The overall catchiness of the riffs that this band creates is insane. The technicality of this band. This band isn't the most brutalist band. Can they get pretty fucking heavy? Yeah, they can. But this band is just, they're more melodic. They're more beautiful. I mean, I love this band. Obnivium's amazing. Cosmogenesis. Oh my god. Every song on that album is flawless. I forget what it is. Incarnated, I believe. That song is freaking killer. Centric Flow. I mean, this band has so many amazing tracks that it blows my mind that a technical death metal band can write so many good songs that you just love every single one of them. Once I start listening to Obscura, I don't want to stop. Obscura is an amazing band. Vocally, they're awesome. Their drums are amazing. Everything about this band is killer. Number 2, I had Death. Chuck Schuldiner is just a genius. Honestly, I'm not the biggest fan of the album Scream Bloody Gore. I know everybody's like, that's the first death metal album. You know, okay. You can definitely argue that, but I'm not the biggest fan of it. It's their later works. This band, literally, with every single album, took one giant step forward. They never ever took a step back. They never ever just stayed at the level they were at. From Leprosy to Spiritual Healing, you know, they got better. From Spiritual Healing to Human, you know, etc. All the way up until, in my opinion, their crowning achievement, Sound of Perseverance. Voice of the Soul. I mean, that is so haunting. That is such a moving instrumental. That's my favorite instrumental of all time. And Chuck's vocals, how even they got better. They progressed. I mean, this entire band just progressed with everything. And then when I think of Death, I don't really think brutality. I think more, you know, melodic. The riffs are amazing. Some of the riffs are just so kind of technical. Some of them are really easy, but they get the point across. They hit you in the face, you know. And just some of the harmonies and the soloing. Oh my God, soloing in this band is insane. It's a shame that Death, you know, that Chuck passed away and all that stuff, and Death, you know, isn't around anymore. But you know, they really wrote some of the best albums ever to me. Very, very amazing band.
Number 2? Hey! My number 2 is the Black Dahlia Murder. Because, why are they so up high on my list? Because they're great. And why do I think they're great? Because they really stick out to me. They're melodic death metal. Death metal's in the name, so, what does this band do that I like so much that no other death metal bands do, or not many death metal bands do? What makes this band stand out to me? You know, a lot of death metal bands can just try to be disgusting, or, you know, they can do this or that or whatever, but, like, the Black Dahlia Murder has their signature, you know, just don't stop from start to finish that they do, you know. Shannon Lucas is constantly either blasting or hitting something in a really fast pattern, or you know, he's never slowing down. He's just always going. You know, he's like the Energizer Bunny, and Ryan Knight is, you know, he's an incredible guitarist. Like a lot of his riffs and like just like what's the song I'm thinking of? Off Nocturnal. It's like the number 6 track. Death Mask Divine. That song, you know, it's like you know, like I forget the part. I'm trying to. It's like, you know, like he can put a lot of like mood into the riffs, which is sometimes hard for bands to do. I think. It's very. You can be definitely a master musician if you're able to put mood into a song, like just the song itself. I think Ryan Knight does that sometimes. Like, yeah, Black Dahlia Murder, they sing about death and war and worms and rotting bodies and this and that, and having relations with dead people. But it's like some of the songs he really just puts this like sad, you know, twist on it, and it's just like from the guitar alone you can tell like, oh, it just sounds kind of really dark and sad and like, ooh, eerie, like you're in Transylvania. And right away, Trevor, insert last name, he is an incredible vocalist. He definitely stands out in a lot of death metal. Like, yeah, this band's a morecore band or whatever, this or that. But definitely Trevor is an amazing vocalist. He sticks out in death metal. Like, you hear a song, you're like, that's the Black Dahlia Murder. Like him or not, that's the Black Dahlia Murder. You can really point this band out. And they stick out because what they do, in my opinion, is very, 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 what would you call it? Great. My number 1 band, also a melodic death metal band from Sweden. I said that weird. They're from Sweden. They're Swedish. Eh? That's Canadian. In Flames. Why are they my number 1? Because, like, sure, they're not all about brutality. I don't think they're about brutality at all, really. Well, anymore. You know, Sounds of a Playground Fading. That song, the chorus is so amazing. And, any song off of Come Clarity. Let's see, let me think of a song. Crawl Through Knives. You know, that chorus, it's just, you feel like if you're seeing the band, when it comes to that part, like really bright lights shine and everything gets really bright and everyone's singing along and it's very pretty and, you know, it's very easy on the ear, you know, it's very nice and listenable, and their riffs, like them or not anymore, I still think they're a good band. A lot of people will say only the old In Flames is good and they don't like the new In Flames, but I think both have their upsides and both can have their downsides. But this band is just so catchy, and I just, Anders' voice is, he puts a lot of, like, it's very dark. A lot of his lyrics and just his voice itself is very dark and depressing and, you know, very just dreary, and not like Rainy Day dreary, just like, you know, you're in a big wasteland desert all by yourself, and like your wife died and your cat got hit by a car and your dog got hit by a car and your wife got hit by a car and you get remarried again and she dies, and like it's just a bunch of bad stuff is happening to you. I mean, like, this band always puts me in like a really sad and depressing mood, but like they're still good. They're still my number 1 just because they're amazing. That's my list, yo.
Number 1, I had Cannibal Corpse as my favorite death metal band. You know, a couple years ago, I hated this band. I absolutely despise this band. I don't know why. I love Cannibal Corpse. To me, I can't get enough Cannibal Corpse. All 12 of their albums are amazing in so many different ways. Do I like some albums more than others? Of course. Do I like Corpse Grinder over Chris Barnes? No. Do I like Chris Barnes over Corpse Grinder? No. It's kind of like Killswitch Engage. I can't pick two vocalists. I love Corpse Grinder and I love Chris Barnes. I think both are just, they fit Cannibal Corpse. They fit them very well. I mean, the Chris Barnes era albums are just, they're a lot more raw. They're a lot more just disgusting and, you know, kind of brutal. While I feel that the Corpse Grinder albums, they just kind of pick the pace up, and every song just is like bam, and the next one's like bam, the other one's like boom, uppercut to your fucking nuts. You know, I love this band. Every song makes you just want to headbang. I mean, and every song just makes you want to windmill and jump in the circle pit and just destroy everything. I love Cannibal Corpse. I mean, everything about this band is amazing. The guitar work is insane. The riffs, just the riffs, the riffs, the riffs, the riffs. This band is all about the riffs. And the drumming, I mean, I feel they have one of the best, most solid drummers. I mean, I love the drumming in this band. I mean, and to me, this band just, they can't put anything bad out. I mean, they just put Torture out in 2012. It's one of their best albums. I mean, this band is amazing. Evisceration Plague, 2009 is amazing. They get better and better and better. It's awesome. They have classic albums, The Bleeding, Tomb of the Mutilated, Vile. It's just awesome. I love this band. This band is insane. Everything about them, you know, they really are creative in how they like to kill people. I'm going to leave it at that. Thanks for watching our list. This might be a little long. Let us know who your favorite death metal bands are. This is ours. This is Opinion. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. Thanks for all the love. Bye.